Welcome to the second event in the Challenger World Series, the Cisco Euro Challenge. And this year, 60 teams from 14 European nations get together for some intelligent sport here in the heart of the European community itself. The Ardennes region of Belgium was the scene of one of the biggest battles of World War II, but of course things are a lot more peaceful these days. Or at least they were, until now. 3 days of intense battle coming up, complete with home thoughts from the front.
I want to be at home. Please take me home.
It all kicks off at 10 o'clock in the evening with the representative of each team sprinting to pick up instructions for stage 1. On the face of it, stage 1 is a simple matter of splitting the 4-person teams into pairs, finding half a dozen checkpoints in the forest and getting back to the start within 2 hours. But that's only on the face of it. To find out where the checkpoints are, teams have to solve problems, and having split up into pairs, they need to use their mobile phones to tell each other the answers or ask for help.
15 und 10, 10 and
the petit Liti.
Again.
Liti.
Welke IP was it?
Are you sure about that?
The Swedish outfit Scania are quite used to the demands of intelligent sport. They won this event 2 years ago and were second in the World Team Challenge last year. But to get on the plane to the next World Team Challenge in Florida, like all the teams, they'll need to finish in the top 10 here. Naturally, they'll want to reclaim their European title first, but there's competition. UK team Accenture are old hands at dealing with the new challenges every intelligent sports stage throws your way.
Many people have got you as one of the favourites to win this. Are you equally confident?
No, not at all.
Oh,
I'm not sure why they've got us favourites to win this.
You're on my list.
We've done relatively well in the past, but no, we're not. We don't have any expectations at all.
But in terms of the fact you've actually done previous events, that must help.
I think it does help, yeah. But with all Challenger World events, you don't know what's coming up, so I don't really. It gives you a slight edge, but not a massive advantage.
We're going to have a quick crack.
Still, the more of this you've done, the easier it is to cope with the constant surprises the Cisco Euro Challenge throws in your path. Many teams will carry a different specialist for different types of problems, meaning a quick phone call to the team's mathematical genius could be in order here. And if you can get the answer to this without phoning a friend, you're at least halfway to becoming an intelligent sport competitor.
You know the answer?
Which 3 consecutive numbers can be multiplied to total 1716?
1716.
Okay, we'll give you a call back, okay? Give us a minute. Bye.
And we'll let you know the answer later on. Scania have already got it, and they take a 2-minute lead overall after a lot of hard running too. They were on the course for 2 hours, but get a time of 15 minutes as a result of scoring time bonuses by reaching checkpoints, which in a nutshell is what most intelligent sports stages are all about. Experience can help in these events, but there's no reason why rookies can't excel. Vodafone Hungary are just 2 minutes behind Scania.
Did last night go okay?
Yes, it was very good.
She was the brain of the
team. We didn't.
You're the brain of the team?
Okay. Okay, yes, I was.
Take it.
To tell the truth, I was.
Teams can substitute members between stages, and let's hope it's not a mistake for the Hungarians to leave the brains of the outfit on the sidelines for stage 2. It's a 6-hour bike stage though, so in using just the men, the thinking is that a bit of brute force and ignorance is required. It's never that simple in a Challenger World Series event though, and the current leaders of this one, Scania, first settled down to a good 20 minutes of planning. For this stage, those clever people at Challenger World have compressed Western Europe into this corner of Belgium, and the idea is to visit up to 4 capital cities within the 6-hour time limit. Before you can enter cities to score a time bonus, there are bureaucrats to satisfy with the right papers, which have to be collected from elsewhere.
Basically, we have to pick up visas and air mile points to go to each city, and there's 4 cities across Europe to pick up. And we have to go to each city point as a team of 4.
And in between the cities, it's hardly first-class travel. Even those namby-pamby camera crews are finding it hard going. The visas and air mile points are also scattered across miles of muddy Belgian bogland. Teams can split up into pairs to collect them, then with a neat trick of time and motion planning, meet up again at the city to cash it all in with a big bonus. We pick it up with Scania patriotically collecting the Stockholm visa first, while the other pair are already at the city point with the required air miles. Timing is crucial if vital minutes aren't to be wasted. It's equally crucial to know where you're at in the first place.
London, we're in London. Oh, we're in London.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, we got lost, so I'm not sure anymore.
Where have you been?
Where have we been? Oh, we've been canoeing up here, we came down into Ingrid, we came down here, over here, straight down there, in here, and waited like plonkers with you guys for 25 minutes because you're late.
I mean, I just picked up the passport of what we thought was London, but it turned up with a Spanish flag.
We did the same thing.
And we only realized it half an hour later. So we said, where do we go now? We have to reassess the strategy with the team.
We agreed that you do these two.
No!
Of course!
No, we're going to do this now. We did 11.
Right now.
We did 11, no.
Okay, you have that.
So we did 11.
Where would you like to be?
Let's go to Barcelona.
Sorry, Barcelona's not on the list today, not nearly muddy enough. No hitches for Scania as they meet up.
Stockholm. It's a great city.
And worth a 30-minute bonus once the visas and air mile points are handed in. 3 more cities to go, and having conducted their quick business meeting at the roadside, Scania split up again. But no business meeting is complete without a nice lunch. And on this stage, the lunch stop is compulsory. Every team must take an hour's break at some point in the stage. The impetuous Swedes rushed off onto the course, while the canny Accenture team opted to take their 1-hour break right at the start and use the hour to do all of their planning. A cunning ploy, because it means they won't have to waste time when they could be moving, staring at the maps. Scania spent 20 minutes dead time planning before they moved anywhere, and still have to take the official hour for lunch. With miles of kayaking and biking ahead of them, the extra 20 minutes could make all the difference. Intelligent sport from the Brits. The London visa can only be reached by kayak. Scania and Accenture have both endured the rain to get it, and half of each team are sheltering in the cowshed that passes for London itself.
I should say something. Is it going to plan? My half is at the moment, or our half is at the moment, so yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Because you're here.
We're here, exactly.
Where are they?
They're on their way. We estimate an hour and a half, and we're an hour 22, so we're a bit early.
Where have you been?
We've collected some air miles, and this is our first destination, which is London, and then we're going to go to Brussels, and then perhaps Stockholm.
All in one day?
All in one day.
And who are you flying with?
Just our own legs, unfortunately.
A second city for Scania. 80 minutes of bonus this time, but conditions are making it tough for any team to complete the full European tour today. Not for want of trying, though.
A bit muddy, is it?
A little bit, yeah. Get some more contact, can't see a thing. Probably better though.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, he was fine. Almost, anyway. Accenture have collected London and now Brussels. At 130 minutes, the biggest bonus and most crucial to having a successful stage. And though Scania are now collecting their third city, it's tight for them. Soon they're going to have to stop for an hour.
Quite good. Not perfect, but quite good. No mistakes, no big mistakes during the cycling, but we don't know if our plan is the best. We'll see that afterwards.
Advantage to Accenture perhaps, but in spite of not using their brainiest team member, Vodafone Hungary are doing just as well. They've taken the hour's break, and like Accenture, they have the most valuable city. And they're looking strong with 2 more cities to go.
Let's go!
Back at base, teams are checking in for the hour's break. Scania are amongst them, with no choice but to have a sit-down lunch on the sidelines while their rivals Vodafone Hungary are eating up the miles. However, there is one disadvantage to an early lunch stop.
Yes, but few seconds and on foot.
A broken bike chain miles from the mechanics means a disastrous loss of speed for Vodafone, though a little creative thinking goes a long way. A very long way in this case, for several miles to the nearest bike repair point. Good news for Scania, or it would be if they knew about it. The Swedes are running out of time to get the last city on their list, Madrid. It's going to mean a lot of kayaking and biking with hardly enough time to do it all. They have a history of going for too much on stages and coming back late, which means punishing penalties and lost bonuses. They have to watch the clock carefully now. Accenture still have just 2 cities in their collection and are finding out there's a price to pay for the early lunch strategy too, as they slip and slide around tracks already churned up by hundreds of bikes.
Are we right? Yeah, we've done something similar before and it took us 35 minutes to plan-ish. So we thought we'd use that time to plan. Otherwise it's just dead time. Only problem is, which I'm feeling now, is that we don't get a break, so maybe I should be rethinking after 4 hours. I don't know.
Sometimes there's just no way to outwit the Challenger World course planners. Scania are out of time, and in one way or another the stage has gone awry for all of the top 3 teams. But there's always someone worse off than yourself, unless you're these guys.
We made a serious mistake and I'm tired and want to go to bed. I want to be at home. Please take me home. Taxi for Mitchell, please. I'm in bed.
We are well and truly out of the competition. We might as well pack our bags and go home. But we'll stay here and have a bit more fun. If you leave us alone, so we can cry.
In the meantime, if you remember that little problem we left you with earlier, here's the answer.
You've got chocolate.
And water. Oh, gone.
It's always next year.
Hello. Cannot see a bloody thing.
Almost 6 hours of racing through the rain and the mud. The stage is coming to an end, and Scania, like many others, have had to give up on the last bonus, cut and bike for the finish before time runs out and the penalties hit. The event leaders now fearing they overestimated their own speed. But they're not the only ones under pressure, and the pressure's not over yet on this event. Sharp wits and a cool head, as well as the right footwear, will all be required in the rush for the finish. After almost 6 hours of biking, Scania finished stage 2 of the Cisco Euro Challenge inside the time limit, avoiding penalties. It needed a big push to get there though, and not all teams make it back on time.
45 seconds over, that's all you were.
You're joking!
After 6 hours of effort, it's upsetting to learn you've missed the deadline by just 20 seconds. Getting back on time is vital to success in this event.
Good session?
Yeah.
We're satisfied. Yeah? Where have you been?
Everywhere.
Not quite everywhere. They've turned in the same performance as the British team Accenture.
Where did you go?
So London, Brussels and Stockholm. So it's fun. Nice.
No problems?
No, touch woods. We were absolutely spot on our plan and did everything we wanted to do.
You're desperate for a shower?
I am. I'm pretty mucky. So I do need a shower.
6 hours of muddy hell, and no real change at the top of the table, with the leading teams all managing to get the same time bonuses. But stage 3 could really separate them, and is a chance for the more intellectual teams to shine. It's time for the construction stage, with teams having to complete a set task as fast as possible. In second place overall, Vodafone Hungary have brought the brains back in.
Yeah, we have many ideas. Many ideas. I don't very fast.
Steady hands and steady nerves are all needed as teams put together a homemade crane to build a tower of 4 blocks.
You lift it up? Yeah, hold up. Slowly. Push it forward a bit. That's it? Okay.
You need a good design and a team that's working together.
I said his ideas are right? He's a worst engineer going. He hasn't a clue what he's doing.
Tension as Vodafone look to be one of the first teams to finish and the last block swings into place. But they eventually make it and run for the finish, and there's relief for everyone when you finally do. The Slovakian Soitron have put in a stunning fastest performance on a stage that suits the most intelligent of the intelligent sport competitors. It pulls them up to within sight of the lead teams, with another test of mental agility to come next. All of the leading teams will play each other at the ancient game of Morelos, or 9 men's Morris. We won't explain the rules here, suffice to say that a confident-looking Scania are easily beaten in their first game by Soitron. Defeat cost Scania 20 minutes, which means they lose the overall lead in the competition to Soitron for now. Vodafone Hungary are also swept aside by the Slovakians. Out of 6 games, Soitron's only defeat comes against Accenture, who themselves win just 2, while in their last game, Scania must beat Barclays to take a second win and keep their hopes alive. In the end, the clock comes to Scania's aid, or rather the opposition's clock, which is going to run out first, handing victory to the Swedes if they can just keep the stalemate going with repeated moves.
You have to break the line, we can let them get through. Otherwise we're going to just lose on time. That's right. The one on the right. Yeah, go here, go there. Here. Yeah, here. Farmer, go! Yes. Yeah, it is.
The win maintains a narrow lead in the competition for Scania, but the pressure's all been too much. Going into the final stage, the gap between Scania and Accenture has hardly changed since the start, but Soitron have split things up with great performances on stages 3 and 4. On stage 5, it's back to pedal power though, and this should favour the Swedes.
We have made a terrific competition during this far, and we're going to keep that way. We're going to do our best in this stage.
So does that mean you're going to win?
To the others. It's up to the others. We just focus to do a good stage.
3, 2, 1.
Soitron have given Scania a fright before. And they're poised to give them another. The Slovakians are first to plan the stage and get away. Just in time for the rain to start again. Despite the mud, this stage is a fairly simple sprint for home, with teams splitting up to collect bonus points, then meeting up again later on to descend into the town of Ufalis, where a couple of surprises lie in store. Long before that part, it started to fall apart for Accenture, or rather one of the bikes has, virtually ending their chances of winning the event. Elsewhere, it's competitors' bodies that are feeling the pain. And to the surprise of all, Soitron are threatening to turn the competition upside down once more. Get away now! By seeming to be in a position to win a stage that should have gone to Scania. Only 12 minutes down on the Swedes going into the stage, A major upset looks possible if Scania don't arrive here soon. A kilometre from the finish, it turns out not every team member has to run it. One of them will get a lift there on a stretcher. And by the time they get there, several of the competitors might end up needing it too. When Scania eventually arrive, having taken the wrong route and with the river crossing still to do, they find Soitron just a couple of 100 meters from the finish. A huge physical effort from the Slovakians takes them in first over the line. They won't know if it's enough to win overall until the prize-giving ceremony later in the evening. Scania won't know either, of course. All they can do now is to get to the finish as soon as they can and hope it's soon enough to defend their lead.
Thank you. Anders.
Well, they don't look like people who think they've won, but one thing they don't know, and which becomes clear now, is that Soitron are facing a big penalty for missing a checkpoint.
Well, we get lost for 20 minutes, so we have to modify strategy and go straight to the finish because we have 2 penalties for the checkpoint. So.
Knackering, really good fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that.
And so did everyone else by the looks of it. But it's time to find out who actually won it and who's going on from here to the World Team Challenge.
Goes to T3 Scania.
Well, no surprise to see Scania reclaim their European title, though they did get a few frights along the way. And together with the teams that did all the frightening and the UK teams who made it from the last qualifying event, they'll be on their way to the World Team Challenge in Florida later this year. Before that, there's the matter of finding out which American teams will be there to take them on. The US Challenge is next, a chance for us to see if intelligent sport will bring America to its knees, or whether they'll just find it as easy as falling off one of these. See you next time in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Carolina. Ooh.